these are all the files that you'll get. You can see each of these with this icon. These are SketchUps. This is the manual. This was the video presentation that's got over 300 plus pictures in it. This is the building supplies, of course. And let me just show you the videos. All the videos are here. There's 19 of them, about 2.5 hours total. Go back and show you these other pictures. There's about 36 items you see here. Got blank graph paper for you already set up so you can have something to draw on. And some of these are just my original drawings. Some of these are images that are referenced in the manual. These are actually from the Tumbleweed site. They're on the Tumbleweed site, just the live site. Anybody can see them. Even got a wiring diagram down there. We got the rafter geometry. Got a scanned image on different ways you can set up a kitchen. And I'll go back out and show you a couple of these other things here. So if we go to, here's the manual, and if we go on a couple pages into it, I can show you table of contents. We've got the lessons learned. All these are design and plan considerations, things that are steps along the way, different options, different ways of doing things or thinking about things, and then of course the resources. I can show you, if you want to pause that, you can read the first few pages of it there. So if we go to the presentation, just to show you what we're talking about here. At the beginning of every video you see this image here, and then I'll just scroll through some of these so you can get an idea of how much stuff we're talking about here. We've got the trailer and the framing, and we've got the roof and the siding and the insulation and the electrical, and then we got the plumbing, the bathroom, drywall, the sink, the toilet, videos, some challenges, and a closing shot. So that's what you get there. This is one of the SketchUps here. This is the alternative outline, and basically you're going to get this live file so you can play around with it and change different things. I believe all of these are going to be the 20-foot trailer, and you'll have all these tools. This is a free program. You can check and see how far this is. So yeah, you see 20 feet there. And there's different ways to set it in the trailer, which is what you're seeing here. And then you get the actual tiny house that's based on the design I built. So this is a 16-foot trailer. You can move it around. You put everything in layers here. I'll go ahead and take some of these off so you can see the difference here. Just make that the one you don't change. See, some of these will start to move. Floor framing, okay. Now you see the inside. And so what you can do is you can reconstruct this. You can measure each part if you like. You can change any of these parts that you like. You can take any of these, and what I did was I also made pictures of each of these layers separately that you can look at and use. So that's pretty much it. So again, these were the files that you're going to get. You're going to get all these other pictures and the videos, the PDFs, the SketchUps. And I'll show you a short clip here of one of the videos. And then I went ahead and attached all the hurricane clips. I know these have different names, but I'm just going to call them all hurricane clips for the time being. They're on the shopping list as what they are. So I think if you made the angle more flat, you wouldn't have to put these on the outside. It didn't take away from it in the end. You'll just be able to get a more solid attachment if these are on the inside and you've got a mostly flat elevation going across here. But with a 45-degree angle, these had to be on the outside. This is the back window. You can see there's hurricane clip there and here. And this is just so that I could stand it up straight and then attach it to the cross beam there. And then this is where the ridge post gets attached right here. And I set the end rafters along with the post here on both sides before I attach the ridge that you see here. There's the rafter or the ridge. I was getting ready to put it up here. Make sure you double check which way you're putting it, because I actually put it in the wrong way and had to take it off and turn it around, put it back on. So, and the way that I knew which way was supposed to be the front was, these are all 24 on center except for down here. There's one gap that's not 24 on center. I just had to make sure the gap was the same on both sides. And that's kind of a close-up of what it looked like in there. You just put screws, enough screws in. These are, I want to say, 1.5 inch screws. And you can see I labeled which side to put it. I may not have looked at that when I attached it, so it's always helpful to label stuff and then look at your labels. And then to keep the drafts from blowing in, you have to put blocking in between the rafters, and this also helps them to stand up straighter. So I use these particular Hurricane Clips ties because I could, when this piece wasn't in, I can drill through this rafter into this blocking, but when I put this one on here, I can only drill in through this side, and so I used a tie for the other end of it. And you can see all that blocking here, and then I went back and added a trim piece along here. And I think I show here in a minute how I did that one. If you'd like to get more of that, feel free to hop on over to tinyhousedesignbuild.com, and I've got more information there for you. Thanks.